Imagine a single dollar growing into a fortune without anyone lifting a finger. Could a simple mathematical idea really power the entire modern financial world? What if the very system behind banks, pensions, and global trade all relied on one principle: compound interest? Today, we uncover how this quiet force transformed wealth, built nations, and shaped our lives in ways most people never notice. Let's dive in. 1. The shift from hoarding to active capital. For thousands of years, wealth meant holding on to land, gold, or grain. People stored value because it felt safe. But static wealth moved slowly. Compound interest changed everything. By letting money generate more money over time, wealth stopped sitting idle and started growing exponentially. Reinvested returns amplified themselves, creating a self-replicating engine of wealth growth. Think about this. If you put a coin under your mattress, it stays a coin. But if you invest it wisely, it could multiply dozens of times over decades. Society shifted from hoarding to using money as a productive tool. This change wasn't just about rich people getting richer. It transformed entire economies. People began seeing money as an active resource. Ordinary savers learned patience could yield rewards beyond their imagination. 2. Funding nations and infrastructure. Governments discovered an incredible advantage in compounding. By issuing long-term bonds with regular interest, they could fund wars, exploration, and public projects without draining their treasuries immediately. Investors reinvesting interest created massive capital pools, allowing nations to undertake projects on a scale never before seen. Transcontinental railroads, shipping canals, and early telecommunications systems all benefited from this mechanism. Predictable, compounded returns made government borrowing reliable and encouraged confidence in the financial system. This reliability paved the way for central banks, which managed interest rates and currency stability. Did you know that some of the roads, bridges, and canals we rely on today exist because investors reinvested interest over centuries? What other modern structures might have been impossible without this quiet math behind the scenes? The power of compound interest turned governments into long-term planners. Projects that once seemed impossible became achievable because capital could grow while waiting. Cities expanded, trade routes flourished, and societies became connected like never before. 3. The foundation of modern banking. Banks transformed into engines of growth thanks to compound interest. They offered interest to depositors, encouraging long-term saving. These deposits became the fuel for loans, creating a flow of credit that businesses could count on. Fractional reserve banking amplified this effect, letting banks lend more than they physically held. But it wasn't just lending. The math of compounding led to actuarial science and insurance tables. Banks learned to calculate risk, price loans accurately, and protect themselves from defaults. Modern insurance, covering life, property, and business, owes its roots to the predictability of compound growth. By continuously reinvesting deposits and interest, banks create a system where money could multiply steadily and safely. Question for engagement. Have you ever wondered why banks pay interest at all? Could it be that your small deposit plays a role in building industries, infrastructure, and even entire nations? Compound interest provided stability, allowing businesses to plan, expand, and innovate. It built trust in the banking system, making money not just a store of value but a catalyst for economic growth. For democratizing wealth and retirement, stock markets turned compounding into a public tool. Dividend reinvestment plans allowed investors to automatically reinvest earnings, letting their wealth grow exponentially without any extra effort. Over time, pensions and retirement funds rely entirely on compounding to support aging populations. This principle opened financial growth opportunities to ordinary people. Modern investment platforms allow anyone, even with small amounts, to participate in the same exponential wealth-building engines once reserved for elites. Think about starting with a tiny monthly investment. Over decades, compound interest could turn it into life-changing wealth. What if your retirement depended solely on the power of compound interest? Would starting today rather than tomorrow change your financial future dramatically? Compounding teaches patience. It rewards consistency and long-term thinking. People who embrace it can grow wealth steadily without chasing risky, short-term gains. In a world of uncertainty, This principle offers one of the most reliable paths to financial security. 5. De-risking global trade. Early traders face enormous risks. Ships could sink, goods could be lost, and fortunes vanished overnight. Compound mathematics made insurance possible, allowing traders to price risk accurately and build reserves. Premiums reinvested over time created vast capital pools that could cover even large-scale losses. This stability encouraged traders to take calculated risks, expanding global trade routes and connecting economies across continents. Without this, many trade networks might never have developed. Merchants could explore new markets, fund voyages, and innovate without fear of total ruin. By making high-risk ventures manageable, compound interest allowed innovation and economic expansion to flourish. Maritime trade, international commerce, and investment all relied on the invisible hand of compounding to grow safely. 6. The time value of money. Compound interest introduced a fundamental financial truth. Money today is more valuable than money tomorrow. This principle shapes every investment decision. By projecting future returns backward, investors and businesses began using discounted cash flows to make informed choices. Capital now must grow to maintain purchasing power against inflation. Compounding ensures that money invested today accumulates enough to preserve its value over time. Corporations use these calculations to evaluate projects, set budgets, and price products accurately. Did you know the reason your savings account grows isn't just interest, it's time working for you? How would understanding this principle influence your spending or investing habits today? This realization created the foundation for modern corporate finance, strategic investment, and personal wealth management. Money stopped being static and became a dynamic tool for growth. 7. Standardizing accounting. Tracking compound interest across multiple periods demanded flawless precision. Merchants adopted double-entry bookkeeping to ensure accuracy, and global trade relied on uniform accounting methods. Without consistent methods, compounded calculations could not scale. Contracts, debt agreements, and bankruptcy laws evolved to reflect the need for standardization. Traders from different countries could rely on the same numbers, reducing disputes and building trust. Precision in accounting became not just a technical requirement, but a cornerstone of financial civilization. By formalizing these practices, compound interest helped establish trust across borders, making international commerce smoother and more predictable. 8. Perpetual sovereign debt. Some governments discover surprising advantage. They could maintain debt indefinitely by compounding interest, never fully repaying the principal if managed properly. This allowed private investors to allocate capital toward riskier ventures, fostering innovation and industrial growth. Compound-based government debt also sets benchmarks for risk-free investment, guiding global markets in pricing bonds, loans, and financial products. The ripple effect touched technology, infrastructure, and even cultural institutions. Did you realize that the math behind perpetual debt influenced innovations that shaped entire industries? How different would the modern world look without this clever financial mechanism? By creating a stable, predictable environment, compounding allowed nations to plan long-term projects and support technological revolutions safely. 9. Compounding in everyday life. From savings accounts to retirement plans, compound interest shapes daily financial decisions. Starting early is critical. Even small amounts, invested consistently, can grow into substantial sums over decades. Students, young professionals, and families can harness compounding to reach goals that once seemed unreachable. It isn't just about money. Compounding teaches patience, consistency, and strategic thinking. The lesson applies to skills, education, and personal growth as well. 10. Lesson for modern investors. Compound interest is far more than a simple formula. It is a powerful tool for strategic decision-making. Understanding how reinvestment, risk, and the passage of time interact allows investors to make smarter, more informed choices that can multiply wealth steadily over decades. Today, modern financial tools such as ETFs, mutual funds, pension plans, and dividend reinvestment plans (DRIPs) exist precisely to harness this exponential power. By consistently reinvesting gains rather than withdrawing them, investors tap into the ability of their money to grow on itself, creating a snowball effect that can turn modest contributions into substantial sums over time. What makes compound interest particularly valuable is that it reduces the need for high-risk speculation. Those who act with patience, knowledge, and consistency are rewarded far more reliably than those chasing quick, volatile gains. Even small, disciplined investments made regularly can lead to extraordinary outcomes if given enough time. For modern investors, embracing the principle of compounding means letting time work as an ally, aligning strategy with natural growth patterns, and building wealth in a structured, sustainable way. Compound interest quietly built the framework of our financial world. From banks to pensions, from trade to sovereign debt, a simple principle transforms societies. If you found this story eye-opening and want to master these ideas in your own life, make sure to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel for more insights into finance and wealth-building strategies.